A shocking revelation about Princess Leonor of Spain. Her own parents, King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia, have denied her a fundamental right of her rank. Why this choice? What lies behind this decision? An exclusive report that delves behind the scenes at the palace, amidst tensions, strategy, and media silence. A video not to be missed. Leonor of Spain, direct heir to the throne and a symbol of modernity and monarchical continuity, has seen one of the rights fundamentally linked to her position denied her. This right, which any crown princess could have claimed without difficulty, has been subtly but firmly denied to her by those who are shaping her future, her own parents, Queen Letizia and King Felipe VI. An unexpected, discreet, and almost silent decision, but one whose consequences could be more serious than they appear. Because this is not a mere whim, nor an insignificant detail in the heiress's career, this refusal touches on the very essence of what it means to be a princess in Spain in the 21st century. To understand the magnitude of this choice, we must first return to Leonor's childhood. From her earliest years, every appearance, every word spoken, every gesture made under the flashbulbs of photographers was analyzed, commented on, and compared to those of her father, King Felipe, when he himself was Prince of Asturias. From an early age, Leonor was prepared for her destiny. And yet, over the years, a very precise guideline seems to have been imposed by her parents. Extreme rigor, a controlled limitation of her privileges, a more normal, more ordinary childhood, at least in appearance. But this strategy, as subtle as it was, culminated in a surprising ban. The young princess was not allowed to freely manage her first official personal account on social networks. In a world where image, direct communication, and connection with young people are channeled through Instagram, TikTok, or X, formerly Twitter, Letizia and Felipe's decision not to allow Leonor to create or manage a personal, official, or private account raises questions. The royal house has preferred to maintain exclusively institutional, cold, hierarchical, and distant communication. An exception to the current norm. At her age, Princess Ingrid Alexandra of Norway, Catharina Amalia of the Netherlands, and Princess Elizabeth of Belgium have all had the opportunity to speak, even occasionally, in their own words, on digital media. But Leonor remains silent, protected, muzzled, or extremely restricted. This right, which many young people her age exercise daily, is not trivial. It's not simply about posting vacation photos or gala outfits. It's a powerful communication tool, a way to connect with the people, especially the younger generations. It's an opportunity to show that the heir to the throne is also a 21st century teenager, curious, concerned, and connected. Denying this right means maintaining a symbolic and generational distance between the monarchy and those it is supposed to represent. And in a country where the crown is regularly called into question, this choice can prove risky. Letizia, a former journalist, is aware of the dangers of social media. She knows how a misinterpreted post can be used against an institution. She herself has been the target of numerous media criticisms since joining the royal family. Her obsession with control, image, and discretion is evident in every decision concerning her daughters. Felipe, for his part, is a pragmatic, methodical king, almost technocratic in his approach to power. He focuses on solidity, neutrality, and the avoidance of any form of controversy. So, together, they have drawn a line. Leonor will not speak. Not yet. But this decision raises a crucial question. What remains of a royal right if its public attributes are not exercised? Can a princess without words, without spontaneity, without a direct connection to the people, embody the future of a modern monarchy? Can young Spaniards, accustomed to following their public figures on social media, to interacting, to commenting, identify with a figure as distant as the one imposed on Leonor? Some in the palace whisper that this ban is only temporary. A waiting strategy. That everything is ready for a later, more controlled, launch, once the princess has completed all the stages of her military and academic career. But in the meantime, a deafening silence surrounds Leonor. Even her public appearances are rare, precise, and highly scripted. When she speaks, it is in pre-written speeches, often read, rarely felt. An image that is too perfect, almost unreal, which clashes with the age of digital authenticity. The frustration isn't just about the media. Many Spaniards, attached to their princess, would like to see her express herself more freely. See her passions, hear her doubts, her projects, her tastes. A necessary humanization in a world where institutional image alone is no longer enough. But the royal line remains strict. No social media, no unapproved interviews, no going off the rails. Everything is locked down. For how much longer? Does Leonor herself have a say? That's the question. Behind her measured smile and exemplary posture, does the princess experience this silence as protection or as a gilded prison? At an age when her peers are posting dance videos, recounting their daily lives, or sharing their readings, Leonor is preparing to assume a 1,000-year-old role, without ever being able to speak directly to those who will one day be her subjects. A striking paradox. Behind the scenes, several royal communications experts are wondering. Banning such a symbolic rite could well be counterproductive. Younger generations are no longer satisfied with silhouettes in suits or military uniforms. They want content, truth, and interaction. Without it, the monarchy risks disconnecting itself from an entire segment of society. By restricting her daughter's expression, does Queen Letizia think she's protecting the crown or cutting it off from the times? And yet, there are some signs that the pressure is mounting. During her stay in New York, after military training on the Juan Sebastián de Elcano, Leonor was photographed with her phone in hand, smiling, almost carefree. These images sparked intense interest on social media. Immense curiosity. What is she reading? What is she watching? Does she secretly follow certain popular accounts? Does she, like other young royals, have a private account under a pseudonym? These are just speculations, of course. But they reflect a thirst for closeness, a need for contact, and a lack. The parental refusal of this digital right, commonplace for her generation, poses another dilemma. By depriving Leonor of her voice on social media, Letizia and Felipe make her more mysterious, certainly, but also more vulnerable to fantasies, rumors, and interpretations. In the vacuum of official speech, other voices take their place. Some benevolent, others much less so. And this silence can quickly turn into a double-edged sword. The Spanish monarchy, in difficulty since the scandals surrounding Juan Carlos, had nevertheless found in Leonor a figure of redemption. Young, educated, disciplined, courageous, she embodies a renewal. But to fully embody this renewal, she must be given the means to do so. And in today's world, this requires the right to express oneself. To tell one's story. To exist in ways other than ceremonial ways. Ultimately, this denial of digital rights for Leonor of Spain reveals much more than a simple parental ban. It testifies to a profound tension between tradition and modernity, between security and spontaneity, between perfect image and sincere humanity. And the question that remains, burning, urgent, and inevitable, is this: by trying to control the heiress too much, do we not risk breaking this fragile bond between the monarchy and its people?